Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So this will be the continuation of my report. So elements or components of a curriculum design. So ito yung bahagi or important part ng curriculum design. There are many labels or names for curriculum design. Some would call it syllabus or a lesson plan. Some would call it unit plan or a course design. Whatever the name of the design, the common components for all of them are almost the same. However, some school, institution or department may add other minor part or trimming to design. So, ang curriculum design na ito ay maraming labels or pangalan, kagaya na lang ng syllabus or a lesson plan. So, ang syllabus, ito yung listahan ng mga topics or learnings na pag-aaralan as well as lesson plan. So, let us take the lesson plan as a minuscule curriculum. A lesson plan or a teaching guide includes intended learning outcomes, ILO, or the desired learning outcomes, DLO, formerly labeled as behavioral objectives, subject matter or content, teaching and learning methods, and assessment evaluation. Each of them or these components or elements is described below. So when we say minuscule, ito yung maliit lang or very small in anything. As like I mentioned, ang lesson plan is a minuscule curriculum. So the first one is the behavioral objectives or intended learning outcomes. So when we say behavioral objective or intended learning outcomes, ito yung mga ugali or asal o gawaing maganda na isa na gusto mong makamit or isa sa mga goal mo or gusto mong lumabas sa mga resulta ng iyong pagtuturo. Begin with the end in view. The objectives or intended learning outcomes are the reasons for undertaking the learning lesson from the student's point of view. It is desired learning outcome that is so be accomplished in a particular learning episode, engaged by the learners under the guidance of the teachers. As a curriculum designer, the beginning of the learning journey is the learning outcomes to be achieved. In this way, both learner and the teacher are guided by what to accomplish. So, ang objectives or intended learning outcomes ay ang dahilan para isagawa ang natutunang lesson ng mga bata or sa kanilang mga point of view. And as a curriculum designer or as a teacher, magsisimula ang journey ng mga learners ay kung paano makuha ang learning outcomes or yung mga resulta ng iyong mga itinuro. Sa paraang ito, ang guro at ang mga learners or yung mga estudyante ay magabayan sa kung ano ang dapat na makuha or i-accomplish. The behavioral objectives, intended learning outcome, or desired learning outcomes are expressed in action words found in the revised Bloom's taxonomy or objective Anderson and Kraftful in 2003 for the development of the cognitive skills. For the affective skills refer to the taxonomy made by Catwall, and for the psychomotor domain by Simpson. The statement should be SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, result-oriented, and time-bound. For a beginner, it would help if you provide the condition, performance, and extent or level of performance in the statement of the intended learning outcomes. So, ito na yung SMART, which is start from S, specific, which means ito yung exact, tiyak, or related siya into particular subject. And measurable. So, measurable, kailangan ito yung nasusukat, kailangan mahigpitan or kayang gawin ng mga estudyante or even ang teacher. Attainable, ito yung to accomplish or achieving something or yung mga bagay na kayang abutin. Result-oriented, ito yung mga resulta na maganda or kaaya-aya for both learners and the teachers. And lastly, the time bound. Ito yung tiyak or kailangan di makapagsayang ng mga oras at sulit ang oras sa lahat ng mga gawain or activities. For example, if a lesson intends the students to identify the parts of a simple flower as stated in the desired learning outcomes, then the students should have identified the parts of a simple flower at in the end of the lesson. Sometimes the phrase intended learning outcomes is used to refer to the anticipated result after completing the planned activity or lesson. In framing learning outcomes, it is good to practice to express its outcomes in terms of what successful students will be able to do. For example, rather than students will be able to explain the reason why, it should be student must have explained the reason why. This helps the students to focus on what they have to achieve as learning. It will also help the curriculist devise appropriate assessment tasks. Ihayag or ipakita ang bawat resulta pagdating sa kung ano or paano magiging successful ang mga estudyante. Halimbawa, imbes na sabihin na ang mga estudyante ay kaya nila i-explain ang dahilan kung bakit ganito or ganyan, kailangan ang sabihin mo ay ang mga estudyante ay kailangan or dapat ma-explain or maipaliwanag nila ang dahilan kung bakit ganyan or ganito. At sa paraang yan, matutulungan nito ang mga estudyante na mag-focus sa kung ano ang kanilang dapat malaman. At tutulungan din nito ang mga curricularist or yung mga teacher na mag-isip ng mga task or mga gawain. Include different kinds of outcomes. The most common are cognitive objective, learning facts, theories, formulas, principles, and etc. And performance outcomes learning or how to carry out procedures, calculations, and processes, which typically include gathering informations and communicating results. In some contexts, affective outcomes are important too, for developing attitudes or values, example, those required as a person and for a particular profession. So kabilang ang mga iba't ibang klase ng outcomes or result, ang pinaka-common or karaniwan ay ang cognitive objective learning, which includes facts, theories, formulas, principles, and etc. And performance outcomes, which includes learning how to carry out procedures or yung mga pamamaraan, calculations, and processes, na kung saan ito yung mga karaniwang nagka-gathered or yung mga nagtitipon or tumitipon ng mga impormasyon at communicating results. So the next one is the content and subject matters. The content of the lesson or unit is the topic or subject matter that will be covered. In selecting content, you should bear in mind the following principles in addition to those mentioned about the content in previous lessons. So when we say subject matter, it is what something is about or ito yung mga kung ano ang nagpapag-usapan patungkol sa isang bagay. Subject matter should be relevant to the outcomes of the curriculum. An effective curriculum is purposive and clearly focused on the planned learning outcomes. So ang subject matter daw ay kailangang relevant or yung mga may kaugnayan or connected sa outcomes ng mga curriculum. So ang effective daw or mabisa na curriculum is yung purposive or yung may layunin at saka klaro at nakafocus lang sa planned learning outcomes or yung inaasahang at napaplanuhang resulta. Subject matter should be appropriate to the level of the lesson or unit. An effective curriculum is progressive, leading students towards building on previous lessons. Contexts which are too basic or too advanced for the development levels of learners make students either bored or baffled and affect their motivation to learn. So ang subject matter daw ay kailangang appropriate or yung wasto or tamang-tama sa level or taas ng lessons at saka unit. Ang epektibo daw na curriculum is yung progressive or yung umuunlad or let's say nagdi-develop at saka yung kayang dalhin or hilain ang mga estudyante na pag-aralan ang nakaraang mga lessons. Yung mga content or aralin na masyadong madali at masyadong mahirap para sa mga estudyante or para sa pagdevelop ng kakayahan ng mga estudyante ay ang dahilan na kung bakit nagiging bored or baffled. So when we say baffled, ito yung nalilito sila or natataranta, and that caused them to affect their motivation to learn or naaapektuhan ang kanilang willingness para matuto. And the other one, which is the subject matter should be up to date and if possible should reflect current knowledge and concepts. So ang subject matter daw ay kailangang up to date or yung husto or sunod sa panahon or in an exact time. At kung kaya lang or possible ay kailangan ito ay mag-reflect sa current knowledge or ipakita at maglarawan sa knowledge or kaalaman and concepts, which is yung pagkaunawa or pagkakaintindi sa isang bagay. And lastly, the subject matter should follow the principles of basics or BASICS, teaching and learning methods. There are some activities where the learners derived experiences. It is always good to keep in mind the teaching strategies that students will experience, lectures, laboratory classes, fieldwork, and etc., and make them learn. The teaching learning methods should allow cooperation, competition, as well as individualism and independent learning among the students. For example, so ang teaching and learning methods, ito yung pamamaraan or magandang sistema para matuto. Cooperative learning activities allow students to work together. Students are guided to learn on their own to find solutions to their problems. The role of the teacher is to guide the learners. Democratic process is encouraged and each one contributes to the success of learnings. Students learn from each other in ways, group projects and activities considerably enhance the curriculum. So, inaalaw ng cooperative learning ang mga estudyante na gumawa ng mga activities na magkakasama. When we say cooperative learning, ito yung mga or matututo sila ng kung paano magtulungan or magkaisa sa mga gawain. Ginagabayan ang mga estudyante na matuto para isolve or solusyonan or lutasin ang kanilang sariling mga problema. Ang role or tungkulin ng mga teachers ay para gabayan or i-guide ang mga estudyante nila. So, democratic process, ito yung prosesong malayaan or ang maging malaya sa anumang proseso na gusto mong gawin without being manipulated or controlled by others. Independent learning activities allow learners to develop personal responsibility. The degree of independence to learn how to enhance this strategy is more appropriate for fast learners. So, ang independent learning naman or yung matututo ka ng mag-isa or self-development ay inaalaw ang mga estudyante kung paano i-build up or i-develop ang kanilang sarili towards their own problem or yung mga sarili nilang mga responsibility or responsibilidad. So, ang strategy or way of teaching na ito ay mas wasto or maganda para sa mga fast learners or yung mga mabilis matuto. Competitive activities where students will test their competencies against another in a healthy manner allows learners to perform their maximum. Most successful individuals in their adult life are competitive. Even in early schooling, they mostly become the most survival in every competitive world. So, when we say competitive activities, ito yung magpapasiklaban sila sa mga gawain or maglaban-laban in a good way or yung mga paraan na mabubuti, which only relates in school or in academic. The use of various delivery modes to provide learning experiences is recommended. Online learning and similar mode are increasingly important in many curricula, but these need to be planned carefully to be effective. Ang paggamit sa iba't ibang modes or paraan para ma-provide or maibigay ang learning outcomes or learning experiences is recommended or which is mahalaga. So, ang online learning or related sa paraan na ito ay nag-i-increase or dumadami at ito ay mahalaga sa lahat ng curriculum at ito ay kailangang mapagplanuhan ng mabuti para maging mas effective. There are some examples of very simple teaching learning methods with detailed steps that you can start using as you begin teaching. Some behaviorist teaching learning methods. A. Direct instruction. Barak Rosenshine model in Ornstein and Hankins 2018. The first one, state learning objectives, outcomes. Begin lesson with a short statement of objective or desired learning outcomes. The second one is review. Introduce a short review of previous of prerequisite learning. The third one is present new materials. Present materials in small sequenced manner. The fourth one, explain. Give clear and detailed instructions and explanations. The fifth one, practice. Provide activity or active practice for all students. The sixth one, guide. Guide the students during initial practice or provide seatwork activities. The next one is the check for understanding. Ask several questions, assess students' comprehensions. Provide feedback. Provide systematic feedback and corrections. The next one is assess performances. Obtain student success rate of 80% or more during practice sessions. And the last one, review and test. Provide for spaced review and testing. So dito na lamang po nagtatapos ang aking discussion. Shukran, jazakumullahu khair.